Biblically Centered Kids.
Well, hello! Happy Friday, May 3rd, 2024. This is the Biblically Centered Kids Podcast. My name is Miss Danika, and I'm excited to be with you today. Thank you so much for listening. All right, we've got a national holiday for you today. Today is National Space Day. Curious-minded people have been fascinated with space and its state of feeling so near and yet so far for a long time. The ancient Greeks developed the study of planets and stars into something resembling the astronomy we know today. And although the heliocentric system was first suggested by the ancient Greeks, the theory wasn't developed and published until 1543, when Copernicus outlined his ideas about the planets revolving around the sun. Astronomy was further advanced by Galileo Galilei in the 17th century. He has often been referred to as the father of astronomy due to his avid pursuit of it against the wishes of his patrons and colleagues. He invented important apparatuses for observing space and proving his theories. Centuries later, space continued to be a contentious issue when the space race began between Cold War rivals America and Russia. The two countries competed to be the first to achieve spaceflight and eventually put a man on the moon. The victory was America's when Apollo 11 and its team of astronauts landed on the moon July 16, 1969. So, today, grab your telescope, grab your night vision goggles, just look up out at space in the evening and celebrate space. All right, so that was our national holiday. Today, on this day, back in 1903, Bing Crosby was born. He was an American singer, actor, and songwriter who achieved great popularity in radio, recordings, and motion pictures. He became the most well-known crooner in the ideal climate for a rise of such a figure. His casual stage manner and mellow, relaxed singing style influenced two generations of pop singers and made him the most successful entertainer of his day. He starred with Fred Astaire in the box office hit Holiday Inn, and that's where he first sang White Christmas. His recording of the Irving Berlin Ballad became one of the most popular songs of the century. It exceeded in record sales only by his version of Silent Night. He won an Academy Award for Best Actor and received an Oscar nomination. By the mid-1970s, 400 million copies of his records had been sold. I don't know about you, but my family loves listening to his beautiful voice every Christmas. I'm sure you've heard him, but if not, feel free to ask a parent to play you his version of White Christmas or Silent Night. It's never a bad time to play Christmas music or to think about our Savior. All right. Well, you know what day it is. It's Friday. That's right. It's Quiz Day. Feel free to either answer these questions aloud or grab a pen or pencil and paper to write down your answers. Are you ready to get started? Let's go. Our first question, what is Virtue R that we've been talking about all week long? Is it A, we share our love of pizza with others?
Yummy.
B, we reflect Christ like mirrors? C, we reflect Christ's love? A, we share our yummy love of pizza with others? B, we reflect Christ like mirrors? Or C, we reflect Christ's love? That's right. The answer is C. Our virtue from this week, Virtue R, says we reflect Christ's example by how we love one another. What does the virtue of love mean? Does it mean A, wishing good to others and caring for them deeply? B, being impatient, unkind, and boastful? Or C, accepting every action or behavior as good? All right, think about love. Does it mean wishing good to others and caring for them deeply? being impatient, unkind, and boastful? Or C, accepting every action or behavior as good? Of course, it's A. This kind of love is called benevolence. And when we express the qualities of love that God calls us to, we will be patient, kind, and speak truth to others. If you remember, our love isn't always about feelings. It's more about our actions. All right, what is another virtue to keep in mind when learning about love? A, acceptance, or B, holiness? That's A, acceptance, or B, holiness. Answer B is correct. God's love is perfect, and it doesn't compromise His holiness. So when we talk about the love He has for us, it is always within the context of His justice, righteousness, and holiness. Next question. In our Old Testament story this week, what was Hosea's job? Was he A, a shepherd, B, a cupbearer, or C, a prophet? A, a shepherd, B, a cupbearer, or C, a prophet? Great. Yes, he was a prophet. His job was to help the people of God to understand more about God and how they should live. All right, here's our next question. What did Hosea and Gomer's relationship show God's people? Did it show them A, God does not offer forgiveness, or B, God is always ready to offer forgiveness? Do you remember our Old Testament story? So A, God does not offer forgiveness, or B, God is always ready to offer forgiveness? Of course, answer B is right. God's love is always there, ready to forgive us and to bring us back to Him. Okay, it's time for our last question. What person from the story of the Good Samaritan helped the Jewish man who was robbed? Was it the priest? Was it the Levite? Or was it the Samaritan? I bet you could guess. The title of that story is called The Good Samaritan, so of course, C, the Samaritan. The person least likely to help ended up being the one to go above and beyond for the man who was beaten and robbed. The Samaritan showed love and compassion without expecting anything in return. Well, that seems like a great place to end our quiz, focusing on how we can be mirrors of Christ's love in the world. And I hope you knew all the answers. I bet you did, you smart little cookies. But if you didn't, or if you want a refresher, feel free to go back and listen to our other episodes from this week to remind yourself and to get you focused on love. I loved getting to spend time with you today. I hope you enjoyed reviewing what we learned this week about Virtue R. Have your parents visit biblicallycentered.com to get some resources for your biblical family virtue journey. And if you are enjoying listening to the Biblically Centered Kids podcast, why don't you tell all your friends so they can work on biblical virtue with you? Remember to reflect Christ's example of love to someone today. Until next time.